Testing, 1, 2. Welcome, new employee, to your official inauguration video to joining the team at Roommate Restaurant, the prestige of fine dining. If you're blind and or lack any sense of taste, here at Roommate Restaurant, we aspire to achieve the impossibly bad. Come on, let's give you a tour of our facilities. See, our theme here at Roommate Restaurant is that all our chefs are your roommate. Take this chef, for example, who consistently utilizes our restaurant's only microwave. Don't worry, you can use the microwave too, as long as you don't use any
dairy, sesame, egg, soy, pork, or shellfish.
But hey, kosher's fine. Now you may think that's a bit selfish of them to occupy this microwave with their allergies instead of getting their own. And I'd agree to that, if it weren't for the fact the other housemates already have their own microwave upstairs that's easily more accessible for themselves. With this also being that person's own microwave as well, it makes sense that no one else needs to use this microwave but the person who has the allergies anyway. As we inform all our fellow roommates here, I mean, come on, it's a giant neon note. You are living with someone who could literally die from having these things, so use your own goddamn microwave.
Now look, in the defense of all those housemates, I kind of agree to this issue that genuinely have these allergies. Maybe don't have your microwave in the public common space of the place where you're sharing with other random strangers. Like, if you can literally die from this, maybe don't put your life into other strangers' hands? I don't know. Just kind of seems like common sense.
Anyway, on with the tour of our fabulous restaurant. One of the greatest features of Roommate Restaurant is our ability to deliver food to our customers at an extremely fast rate. This is all thanks to our preparation method. The trick here is to make the food over a month beforehand and let it sit in the sinks of the kitchen for as long as no one orders it.
Seriously, man, what the Yeah, be thankful the smell of whatever is in that snap lid container is sealed in there. This is it. This is how viruses spread. This is how they gestate and evolve to eradicate the human species.
Now, you might have been wondering earlier, say, why use a microwave that we can't put almost anything in it except for kosher stuff, when there's another microwave in the restaurant right there? Well, as this roommate points out, that microwave is currently out of service. It is currently being used as storage. Storage for someone else's food. Just, wow, that's a whole bird in there. I'd like to say they're vegetables, but let's be real, they're probably a completely different type of mushroom by now. Some sort of own personal ecosystem of spores.
Seriously, if this is how you're leaving appliances, you need help. This goes beyond tardy, beyond pathetic. This is seriously bad for your health. I mean, damn, I remember one of my first housemates was like this. Would use my stuff and eat my food, because when he'd cook his own stuff, he'd leave it in the fridge completely uncovered or out on the bench completely uncovered. Go back to eat it the next day or two, and you could just hear him throwing up in the bathroom. And oh man, what is crazy about this is she's only cooking for herself and is trying to meal plan. You know, part of the planning process is to do this amazing thing. You may have only heard about it in groceries and other businesses that sell food, but storage? You're kind of forgetting that part of the meal planning. She cooks dinner and lunch with many servings so she can pack the remainder away to take to work. But after she eats, she just sticks the food somewhere. This picture is from a meal she made a couple of days before. Oh, it's been a few days at this point. I've talked to her about getting sick by doing this, and she keeps saying it hasn't happened, so it won't. She also has a lot of gastrointestinal issues, so I would think that is an indicator that it's not a good idea. Oh man, the density. At this point, I think you could mistake her for a black hole. Hey, roomie, I noticed you have explosive diarrhea. It's getting all over the floors. Yeah, but at least I'm not sick. See? It's not from the food, though. Otherwise, and I don't feel sick, so clearly it's not the food. It's just me. It's just who I am, and you have to accept it, because if you don't, it makes you a bad person. Imagine living the life of being a chicken, growing to a fruitful size, being murdered, only for your carcass to be left in a microwave because someone was too lazy to even consume you. Like, goddamn, that's the tactic to turn me vegetarian. I don't care about the animal's life, I care about life being wasted. Oh, and by the way, there's actually an update to this too. After they told their roommate to clean up their cooking mess, well, she did. In the same way a child cleans up their room by just throwing everything into their closet or underneath their bed. Oh, look, the microwave, the oven has holes in it too, like the microwave. I'll just shove it all in there. Look, I know we've completely deviated from my little roommate restaurant gag I've started this video with, but screw it. This is too depressing now to joke about it. I mean, props to you for trying to be healthy, at least with the greens. Like, that's not even food, that's trash. And it's exactly the tactic you think it is. She cleaned the counters of trash, great. All she's gotta do is throw them in the bin now. And then put it in the oven so the cats don't mess with it. You know where else they wouldn't mess with it? If it was in the bin! Oh my god. Now, look, to be fair, there is an argument for it, surprisingly. One person mentions if it's raining outside, obviously you don't want to take the trash out then. Okay, yeah, sure. And you don't want your animals to try and tear into the bag. Put it in the oven so they don't get it. Anyway, okay, so microwave's out, the oven's out. How do you like your chips, Roomie? I want them crisp enough that I'm pretending to be an archaeologist, exploring the ruins of Mount Vesuvius. Yeah, let me collect and munch on those dead Romans ding-dongs. It's like not even a crunch when you eat these things. It's a dry crumble.
We now interrupt this program for breaking news. Yes, hello, it's me, the same voice as the restaurant inauguration video person. I'm also the newscaster. Yeah, that's it. Just go with it. Stop asking questions. The latest report from the World Health Organization has discovered the true source of the COVID virus. Turns out it was this person's pandemic roommate who would leave cooked food out for days and continue to eat from it, if possible. The OP is quoted saying, "They just walk up, stab it with a fork, and eat it." We're getting a live feed now. Yes, there it is. Look at that chicken. Could easily pile that all into a Tupperware container and put it in the fridge for longevity. But nope, guess this person wanted to get out of the pandemic vomiting and pooping just liquids.
You might wonder, I'm not really much of a chicken person right now. I could go for like some sort of mashed potato, pasta, lasagna, kind of weird freak of nature. Oh, this roommate got you, fam. Look at that. Left for so long, the spoon has just rusted inside with the food. Seriously, how do you eat that? It's like you're digging into dirt to just get a bit of food. But what's that you say, you gross human? You want to try more delicious treats from this pandemic roommate? Well, we got you, fam. Look at, literal, like, professional mixing equipment and everything. And I'll be honest, I don't know what that is, but those jars just look like mayo, and that scares me. I mean, God, look, I enjoy a buffet like any other person, but there's a unique thing that makes buffets actually great compared to doing this at home. The food at a buffet is actually fresh. And as much as you might enjoy this idea of just going into your kitchen to sample anything that's around, you gotta kind of prioritize the food safety aspect first. You know, once you get to that part, then you can look into making a little buffet at home. Now, you might wonder, surely they've got a method to this madness, right? As someone comments their concern for this roommate's clearly dangerous dietary habits. Well, the OP shares what the roommate said in response to this. They told me they cooked out the bacteria. This is... You know how they say there's that argument that elderly people should have to renew their driver's licenses? I think people need to renew their school diplomas, which is very concerning when these people clearly, most roommates on this subreddit are mid to early 20s. So it's... Bro hasn't been out of high school for like a decade yet and already clearly needs to go back. Do they understand how bacteria grows? No, not at all. Just their ego. They were a big narcissist. Hey, Miss Moo, any other thoughts yourself? I'm kind of having a similar issue. They also pee in jugs in their bedroom and tried to say it's apple juice. No. Miss Moo, I say this with absolute care and respect for your safety. Burn that house down. Burn the house down, and if your roommate happens to be inside, that's just, it's called life. In other news, why is it so common that all the worst roommates are either heavy weed users or have dogs? I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think that automatically makes you a bad person if you do either of those things or have either of those things. Don't do dogs. That's weird. But so many of these posts I scroll through, it's so common that the bad roommate has a dog they're not properly taking care of. And hey, when this person's not doing the bare responsibilities of dog ownership, they're cleaning rags in the sink. But don't worry, they gotta let them soak, rags. Because it's like ceramic plates. Yeah, you gotta leave them to soak for like at least 24 hours, You know they're clean when all the water's gone because they've all absorbed the water. It's just basic science, guys. Good luck cleaning all this up, Scrub Daddy. Then you got your classic, I made food and now I'm gonna leave it out to the open oxygenated air for it to just create new life. This is it. This is how I deal with my baby fever. Can't have a kid, but I can make children this way. Oh yeah, see that trash bag next to the other bundles of trash? Looks quite capable just to throw it in the bin, right? Throw it down a chute. Well, they'll get right onto that. Oh, and look at that. How convenient. It's leaking everywhere now. And are you ready for roommate's response to them not bothering to deal with this? So the OP brings it up. Hey, this bag needs to be thrown out. It's leaking everywhere. Whose is it? Responsible roommate. Oh, I gotta find a trash can to put it in. The trash chute won't fit it. Oh no. If only there was anywhere else in any sort of apartment complex of any society where you could throw away things that were too big for a chute. Oh my god, it's just... Look, I'm getting into a bit of a villain error about this. I apologize. To the point where I'm even getting picky over this. I mean, let's be real. We can acknowledge this isn't actually that bad, but I think just seeing everything else, it's just making me think this looks equally as disgusting. I mean, how much cream do you need in the fridge at one time? You got like 2 tubs of like, what, mayonnaise? Something. Spunk. Parmesan cheese. 2 packets of butter. Absolutely someone who buys stuff at the grocery store because, oh, it's on special, but never actually uses it. You've got 2 bags of cheddar cheese. Everything in here is cheese. I don't know what that is, but clearly it's empty. Throw it out! Hope he goes into a bit more detail of it all, basically describing everything that we've seen in the photos anyway. Sadly, turns out the other roommate themselves just kind of caved in and decided to do half the cleaning themselves. But to add more info to the pee pad situation, that wasn't just a dog peeing there, it was on the OP's bath mat. So their own, like, items that cost them money, and instead of actually cleaning it up, they literally just threw the pads on it and then left it to be. Like, oh boy, yay! You fixed the issue of pee being all over my bathroom floor by leaving pee all over my bathroom floor. Wonderful. She even got crumbs all over the couch and didn't even bother wiping them off. Took up all the space in the fridge, but got mad when me and my other roommate put a package of cookie dough in there, and she said it was so unorganized because we had to set it on top of her food since there was nowhere else to put it. Leaves her bedroom door open just to listen to videos on full volume all hours of the day. Her and this guy she's with play music at like 2 a.m. in the kitchen. We tell them to quiet down and they just giggle like idiots. I've had some bad roommates, but this one really takes the cake. Now you'd like to think, well, clearly the OP just needs to put their foot down with the other roommate. An intervention of sorts that, hey, you need to fix your stuff. But the OP informs us, we actually have tried to talk to her a couple of times. It just doesn't seem to stick. We even told her we wanted the guy gone because at one point he was starting to get aggressive and physical. He was gone for like 3 days, but then came right back. Talked to management, but they said if we wanted him gone, we'd need a restraining order. But in order to get one of those, we'd need his name, which none of us know. He goes by J4, whatever that is, but he's moving away in a few days, so hopefully she'll come to her senses. But you know who is the worst tragedy of a housemate? The audacity! Whoever ate this, please throw it away or finish it. Also, ask next time. Thanks. Ich ate my Pop-Tart and didn't even finish it! I mean, if you're going to be a scummy roommate and steal, at least clean yourself of the evidence. Farewell, brown cinnamon sugar Pop-Tart. May you blissfully fly among the angels to give them diabetes instead.